CA or ACCA, CA or ACCA. The amount of people who have been confused by this over the last few years is extraordinary, and it will be extremely expensive for you career-wise, time-wise, effort-wise, money-wise if you make the wrong decision too early. So might as well understand both the courses, understand yourself and which one you gravitate more towards, and then make the career decision. So before we get into this, guys, please subscribe to the channel. We try to combine education with entertainment by bringing different case studies across India, even across the world, which can help you decide that which domain you might like and which probable career you want to follow. Simultaneously, we try to come up with technical concepts such as this, where we talk about different courses, the details of them, again, which can help you guys take a career decision. So getting right into it, right? First, please understand the first step for either CA or ACCA is your inclination towards finance and accounts. Finance and accounts both are different, but right now I'm going to combine them as one term, finance and accounts, called FNA. So every time I say FNA, it means I'm talking about finance and accounting. The first step is you need to like finance and accounts. So if you are, you've given your 12th, you are in the commerce field, or you're even in your 12th, and if you have any form of gravitation towards accounting, right, this is at least one check mark that okay, you're on the right track. Now coming to the differences, right? First of all, why are people confused? Because people don't understand the details of both the courses. The way I'll ask you to approach it is this. First, go through these points, okay, and see if any point in CA is something you don't like. Only if any reason that you have of not doing CA should you consider ACCA, because CA is otherwise the most looked upon, sought after course in India under the FNA domain. So, what are the differences? Why do people land up thinking about ACCA when CA exists? For reasons such as the fact that CA is extremely long. It takes a lot of years to complete it. Of course, everyone knows its reputation of being one of the most difficult exams to crack. So while it has its rewards, it's not for everybody, right? Some of them don't want to stay in India after doing such a difficult program. Many more points which will come up now. So, difference number one, okay, is the signing authority between CA and ACCA. For those who don't understand what signing authority means, I'll simplify it. In India, right, every company which is formed, every year at the end of it, it needs to have its financial statements signed by chartered accountants. Now, as a statutory law, right, only a chartered accountant of India can sign this, which means if I'm an ACCA, I cannot sign. So, if I'm a CA, I have the option of starting my own CA firm, right? I'll get clients, I'll take care of their accounting, I'll do their audit, and I'll sign their financial statements, because only because I'm a CA, my signature works, and every company needs a CA for this signature. So that is what signing authority means. It gives you the ultimate authority of financial statement of FNA in India. Now, ACCA in India, or no other qualification in India, has this authority. So, if you don't want to set up your own CA firm, your dad does not have a CA firm which you're going to inherit, or you don't aim at becoming a partner in some company eventually, you want to become, you have different plans, which a lot of people have, ACCA would be great, otherwise CA is the first option. That is signing authority. Second, one of the major reasons that people are doing ACCA over CA is the time factor. CA, first attempt, takes you close to 5 years to complete. The people who land up clearing CA in the first attempt is extremely low. If it's something you don't mind giving it a shot, CA is an awesome option for you. ACCA, on the other hand, on an average, takes between 2 to 3 years. Which means if you're one of those brilliant people, you can finish it in even less than 2 years. And otherwise, like a lot of people who are decent at studies, put in the effort, you can finish it within 3 years. So that time saved has a huge advantage. Almost all of our students or faculties who've completed it relatively early, the advantage they have is that when they go to big companies and get, as qualified ACCAs, they're generally the youngest on the floor. I mean, they are one of the youngest people in the company. So what happens is, you not only do you have a few years ahead of people who are at your level, who are your peers, people who started studying CA with you or who are with you in college, you already have a time advantage over them. But more importantly, it gives you a very quick insight into whether this is the right world for your career or not, right? At 22 or 21, if you start working as an ACCA in an MNC, and after a year you realize maybe this is not my life, you're still 22 or 23, you're young enough to change and pivot. Whereas if you're a CA, and let's say on an average it takes you 6 to 7 years, and you started at 18, which means you complete by, let's say, 24. At the age of 25, it's a little more risky than at 22 to pivot your career. We've seen this happen many times, which is why time is such a huge advantage for most people. Right? So the next point is the structure, the actual structure of the CA versus ACCA exams. This is the reason, guys, I explained in another video why most people have a difficult time. In CA, if I want to give an exam, I can't prepare for one exam, give it and pass. I need to give a minimum of 4 exams in a group. So, and that is one major difference with ACCA. I don't have to give 3 or 4 papers at once. I can give 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 3 at a time, or 4 at a time based on my decision, my time availability, which makes it really strong as a reason for me to say, okay, I have time on my hands, I want to give more exams, or I'm busy, I cannot give so many exams. Let me give one, focus on one and pass, which I cannot do in CA. Secondly, when I give an exam, like when I give a group in CA, if I give 4 papers and I don't clear 1 paper, even if it's by 1 mark, I might have to give the entire group again. Right? So imagine from 4 papers I cleared 3. That's technically 75% of the papers I've cleared. Whereas I failed 1, my passing rate from 75 fell down to 0. That's really difficult, which is why people who clear CA, first attempt, any which ways are at the highest level, but even otherwise, second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt, doesn't matter which attempt, if you clear 4 papers at once, and when it's this difficult a syllabus, you anyways have so much respect in the industry. That is why CS is so coveted. Simultaneously, the advantage with ACCA is that the flexibility is very high, right? You learn the same thing. The exams, if you see individual level, like if I take an accounting paper of CA and accounting paper of ACCA, the level of difficulty is similar. But because I have the ability to give 1 paper at a time, I have more chances of focusing and passing. Even if I give multiple papers, let's say like CA in ACCA, I give 4 papers in 1 attempt. Okay, and from 4 papers, if I clear 3, not the 4th one, I'm done with the 3. I just have to repeat the 4th one, which means from that passing rate of 75, my high passing percent remains at 75. And I just need to do that 4th paper. That also along with the next paper, the next group if I want, right? So I'm always moving ahead when it comes to the ACCA papers. That's the reason that I can complete ACCA with less stress, similar knowledge and faster. That's the primary difference between the group structure, the syllabus structures of both the programs. Next, the CA exams are held twice a year. Okay, which means if by chance I fail 1 paper, I essentially am pushed back by half a year. In ACCA, exams on an average are every quarter. So exams happen every 3 months. So 4 times in a year I can give the exams and keep moving forward. Again, adding to the reason that ACCA you can complete faster. Next is the recognition. Now CA obviously in India is the #1 degree, and it's also recognized in different in a few other countries like UAE and all. ACCA is by nature it's a global qualification, so it's recognized all across the world in 180 countries, including India. So from India, we've had a lot of students who eventually finish and then set up their careers here, or they'll end up going to different countries like Singapore, UK, Dubai, Canada, Australia. And I mean, these are the more popular countries that we've seen our students go. So that's the record. Also, in a lot of the countries overseas for ACCA, if you remember the signing authority discussion, ACCA does have signing authority in a lot of other countries. So for example, if you go to UK, in UK you have signing authority as an ACCA. You can set up your own ACCA form. You can sign. The statutory law in UK allows ACCAs to sign on their on companies' financial statements. So that is the advantage of going overseas with ACCA. Your doors are open, your opportunity is open. Tomorrow if something comes up, great. Otherwise you continue rising in your career in India. Okay, next we got a lot of questions on salary. Guys, okay, first of all, there are a lot of companies which will always hire CAs That's why if you're a CA, you have your doors open in all companies across India. ACCAs will have definitely lesser companies which are hiring for ACCA. So you do not go to companies, if you're an ACCA, do not go to the companies which only want CAs. It's like saying that company wants an engineer and I am a BCom student, I will still go and try to get a job there. You won't get it. Right? There are enough companies. In again the other video I've spoken about the big four, right? PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, EY, companies such as Grant Thornton, BDO, and many other companies. They are hiring ACCA, so you might as well go and interview there. There are enough vacancies for ACCAs at the trainee level as well as at the qualified level. And these companies, when the ones who do hire ACCA, are hiring ACCAs at the same level as that of CAs. Okay. Next is the articleship. Now, for articleship, what is happening is in CA, articleship comes right in the middle, right? So there is this thing that after my IPCC, but before my final CA, I need to complete my articleship. Articleship in CA is ideally done, it's only in a CA firm for the first couple of years. Most people spend their entire 3 years of articleship in one particular firm. And I cannot shift too many times once I'm doing my articleship. When it comes to ACCA, the first thing is that my articleship, so in ACCA we call the articleship just work experience. In this video I'm going to refer to the work experience for ACCA also as articleship. So the ACCA articleship, okay, is essentially also 3 years, same as CA. The difference is it does not have to be done in the middle of any exam. I can do my articleship before, during, as well as after I complete all my 13 ACCA papers. At Zell, we recommend our students to most likely go for articleship towards their last few skill level papers. It's of course not necessary, because if you are ambitious enough, you can start your internship or your articleship early, or if like many people, you can wait, focus on the exams, complete exams as early as possible, and then start your articleship. Choice is ours. Plus in ACCA, I don't need to work in a CA firm. I can work in any company as long as my role is related to finance and accounts. But again, as a recommendation, we would suggest that when you are doing your training in India, please do it under a CA or an ACCA. It will give you the best exposure. So, and of course, we can change a lot of companies when we do our ACCA articleship, which is all allowed. So this is the primary difference between the internships of both. Next and most important is the fees, which a lot of people always are asking, right? So CA is relatively less expensive, right? If you complete of your entire CA, you take training for all levels, for the foundation, for the IPCC and the final level. The highest level, it can come to around 2.5 lakhs spread over 5-6 years depending on how long you take to clear. Whereas ACCA, the entire qualification can be between 3.5 to 4.5 lakhs if you start from scratch, and that you can finish within 2 to 3 years. So the overall expense is going to be higher because of the fact that for ACCA you pay in pounds for the exam fees and everything that you pay the body. But that being said, we've seen a lot of people, what happens is that because you finish ACCA in 2, 3, maybe even 4 years, right, and you get a good high-end, high-paying job, you recover it quite quickly, and CA also you would recover it, but it will take you longer. So at the end of the day, when you are a qualified CA or an ACCA at the end of 3 years, 5 years, when you look back, the fees have never been some point of contention for all the students who have cleared. That's what we have ideally noticed, right? So this is a summary of the difference between CA and ACCA, right? That's the reason, but all the reasons I've explained are the reason that the passing percentage for CA has generally been relatively lesser in single digits, whereas for ACCA, it globally over the last 10 years has been close to 40%. Right? So I hope that this summary is giving you a better direction as to why you should choose one or the other. If none of the CA points are a bother to you, even I would suggest that great, then stick to CA. But if one of them also is not that convincing for you, ACCA is giving us the same kind of benefits that CA gets with a global opportunity. And we have done that, it's seen over here that the scope in India is literally very similar. So if there is more that you'd like to know about ACCA, we have another in-depth video explaining everything about ACCA, which also covers a little bit about this CA or ACCA. And you can check this video out, it will give you complete understanding of ACCA. Guys, one last thing, which is the major chunk, right? A lot of people have this advantage. They can do both these qualifications without wasting any additional time. What does this mean? If you are already an IPCC student, right, maybe you are in your articleship period, you can complete ACCA during your articleship. Or you can, if you're a fully qualified CA, you can finish ACCA in just 6 months. And how does all of this happen? Because ACCA gives us something known as exemptions if you have another qualification. So if you're a fully qualified CA or if you've even just completed IPCC, you get exemptions from ACCA. How does this work? ACCA has 13 exams, 1-3. If you have completed your entire CA, okay, you get 9 exemptions out of this. So you have to give from 13 papers only 4 papers. 4 papers you can give in 6 months. So we have so many chartered accountants who want either an additional qualification, they want something global, they want to study about IFRS. There are many reasons why they choose ACCA, finish it in 6 months, and they get 2 qualifications of equal status, one Indian number one global. So that becomes a very powerful combination for them. Again, the way to approach this is very different. You guys, ideally, if you're thinking about it, please do talk to one of the counselors, one of the experts, because they will help you with the detail. And second is, if you are an IPC cleared student, right? Again, you get from these 13 exams, you get 6 papers exempted if you complete IPCC and you're a graduate. That means whether you want to drop out of CA, because unfortunately a lot of IPCC students do drop out of CA. If that's the case, or you are planning on continuing, but in your articleship, which is going to be for 2.5 to 3 years, you can finish the balance 7 papers of ACCA in a year, maybe even take 1.5 years, right? But your CA would not, final CA attempt is going to be quite far ahead. So in this period, you can finish this, and you also, by the time you clear your articleship, you complete it, you already are an ACCA. So you can start your career as an ACCA, appear for final CA, and even if by chance that takes time, you're okay because you already have a qualification on which you're pulling off your career, right? So this is the reason why a lot of students are actually combining CA with ACCA. This exemption which ACCA is giving is the biggest advantage, flexible advantage which CAs are getting. So instead of thinking about which one to do, if you've already started CA, you can also take up ACCA simultaneously. So I hope this entire video has helped you make some form of decision. If it has, great, let us know. And if there's anything you are still unclear about, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to help.